Okay, we are live. I have to add the caption and stuff. Yeah. Talking about from the concert? Oh yeah. I'm gonna put them up this week, probably tomorrow, and hey, we are back. That was Tank and the Bangers' new single, Spaceships. Again, check them out, man. They are out of the boot. Great. They're good to see. That's probably one of the groups that I would love to see in person as well. I watched some of their videos, and they definitely bring it, or whatever the case may be. Hey man, thank everybody for tuning in on our Facebook Live. We finally got it going on, and everything set to go. So definitely tune in. Please share our Facebook Live. But let's go on and jump into today's show, man. We got some quick hits that we go on and knock out real quick. Y'all know how we do that, you know. I'm going to just bring up the story. Everybody go get their thoughts on it, and then we go keep it moving. And so first up, remember last week when we brought up Steve Harvey and Monique situation? Well, Steve Harvey has since came back, and he now regrets the statements that he has made. You know, he basically told Monique he needed to set that integrity to the side and get that paper.
Well,
hold on, sweetie. Hold on, because we ain't going backwards. We just set it up. Everybody seen the clip, and everybody know how it went. And he came. You know, people had, it was the backlash behind it, and so Steve Harvey has come out to say that, and this article is from BET. What did he say? Hold on. I take full responsibility for it. It came out of my mouth, so I can't say that I didn't say it, he said. But to people that really know me, I have lived my whole life as a man of integrity. So when I was referring to integrity in the interview, I was talking about the method in which things were being done, and that is all it was. After plainly stating, I regret it, however, in a personal plea to the young people of this mentee said, just charge that one to my head and not to my heart. So let's be real quick about it. You're supposed to be a professional. Monique is not a professional interviewer. She does not have her own primetime show. You said what you said, and you got a backlash behind it. Point blank and simple. You meant what you said. This is a message to people out there. Be careful what you say, because as the good doctor say, once you throw something out there,
can't take it back.
You can't take it back.
Nope.
And not that you can't be forgiven for it,
right,
or move on from it. It was already put out there. And so with him, I think it's just a little too late, because that's what you meant. You meant exactly word of that. And you show that you do it. So to come back and say you have integrity, you know, I don't really know about it. Let's go.
I think I got what he was saying. I think he was speaking more about her methods more than the act. And again, sometimes if you read further up in the article, sometimes we speak unclearly, or we don't fully articulate what we're trying to say if we're speaking off the cuff. If you watch the interview, it went from an interview and it moved into two friends talking.
Right, it's a more personal conversation.
Right, and I think, sometimes you can be out somewhere and you're aware of your surroundings, and then you get into a moment where the surroundings become black. I think that's what happened with them, because you could see like their body language change, the tone of their voice change. She even said, I'm your sister and I'll hit you in your face on national TV. She said that also. It's because they are friends. They have a long-standing friendship. And I think he was trying to implore to her, sis, the way you're going about this was not full of integrity. And so I understood what he was saying. He said, if I took a stance like this and took a hit like you, it will hurt more than just me and my wife.
Right.
We're talking about me, my wife, our children, our grandchildren. Because if you know anything about him, his whole family, he puts them on. He finds ways to put them on and have them make money. And he's trying to tell her, it's just you and your husband. Maybe the ramifications aren't far-reaching for you two, but I can't do what you do. And I don't think that's the way you should have done. Because I think he was concerned. He's like, hey, you're not making money. You're a good comedian. The way you should have done it, the way you did do it, was not maybe the way I would have done it. I think it just came out wrong. People ran with it like we do. And sometimes, you have to take the L. And I think he did what he's supposed to do. I said what I said. That's not what I meant. That's the end of this conversation.
And that's pretty much what he said in this article. He said that they were talking. It kind of got heated, and his words came out wrong. Yeah. It's not what he meant.
That's not what he meant.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though he chose his words wrong,
yeah.
That's not entirely what he meant. Now, do we believe him? Mm-hmm. I mean, we've all been in a situation to where words have come out of our mouth in a heated discussion that wasn't supposed to come out that way. It was funneled in our brain one way, but by the time it reached our mouth, it came out totally different.
Right.
If we believe him, I mean, I don't know. It's whatever your opinion is of him as a human being, as an individual, as a person that has a platform. It's pretty much up to you. I don't, to me, I've done it before, so I can't hold him accountable for saying one thing and then it coming out a different way. He apologized for it. He went out there, and I don't know if it was because of the backlash that he got, because some people do change their stories once everything is out, and then they come back and they was like, oh, that's not what I meant, that's not what I meant to say, somebody heard it wrong. It's 100 and one things that could have happened of why he came back and did this. So he did it. I mean, I'm good with it.
I said what I said.
Right.
Man, Steve Harvey full of crap. He meant what he said. He seen all that backlash. The dude got his show done got canceled. And that's just what that is. Just like, I mean, you can't say that you've been a man of integrity like your whole life or your whole career when you've actually, it's known that you've done backhanded stuff. Case in point, your very dearly departed friend, Uncle Bernie, you underhanded him for a role or whatnot. That's not integrity. You hit them up and told them you'll do it for less money. Like, come on now. And I really feel like he just got he got all the win. He got red for filth, and he felt he needed to say something because I mean I seen a video that someone put together, and it was so sad because it correlated so well. They infused the scene of the older gentleman talking to the man, I can't remember his name right now, but the man that played Kunta Kinte, he's talking to him and basically telling him how to be a good slave. And the way in which they incorporated that, and then what Steve Harvey said, they gelled together too well for me. So, I mean, I can't, because, okay, first of all, how did she go about it wrong? She spoke up for herself. Like, what was wrong with that? And then you sat here, you told this woman how her husband couldn't be the man he really is, and blase. Like, sir, you're sounding like you sound like the man, the character that Samuel L. Jackson played in Django. Like, that's basically what you sound like.
But haven't we always been told that we have to hide the blackness of us when we go out into white society?
I mean, it's some form of action, but that's not what that.
You have to play the money game.
Right.
This isn't a black or white game. This is a money game. And as someone who has broken in to Hollywood, he has a show. He's hosting Family Feud. He's making money everywhere. He's saying, "Listen, Monique, I understand integrity, but there are ways to keep your integrity and play the money game."
I have more respect for somebody that's unapologetically themselves and getting their money versus someone who sits and tell another person that it's about money over integrity. Like,
right. And so before we keep it moving, everybody's gonna have their own opinion on it. I always tell people, look at people's actions. And so You know, however folks feel, I can't say I get it. Because just because you're doing things and just you're playing a game, again, as we said on the last show before we go to our next quick hit, is that he's not a person in a position of power. If we're gonna talk about people of power, let's talk about Byron Allen, who bought the Weather Channel for $300 million. Mm-hmm. He has power. He is the only black man outside of entertainment. Let's be real. Look up Byron Allen. That is a black man with power. He is the only black man in entertainment with power because he owns his own shit. Mm-hmm. He just bought the Weather Channel that is owned. He runs the route that you get our stories from. No, not the route. I believe the griot. Mm-hmm. The griot. That is a man of power. Steve Harvey, Byron Allen, totally different. That is a man of power. Steve Harvey is not a man of power. He is a man of influence like most of these black entertainers, most of our black senators, most of our black politicians. And so that's just what that is in a nutshell. And so let's go and keep it moving. Our second quick hit, real quick. Man, over the week, I don't know what possessed this white boy, old white man, who is an award-winning writer out of a town in Alabama.
Right.
To write this damn article, Alabama, this is from the Vice News. Alabama publisher calls for KKK to ride again and clean up D.C. You can look up that article on Vice News. And again, I'm not going to go all into the article, but what happened is this guy named, what's his name? Goodloe Sutton, publisher of the Democrat Reporter in Linden, a rural town of under 2,000 residents, about 41% of whom are black, wrote in February an editorial that the white supremacist group should raid the gated communities as Democrats and Republican Party and Democrats are plotting to raise taxes in Alabama. The newspaper doesn't have a website, but the editorial was seen by another Alabama paper, the Montgomery Advisor. The advisor called Sutton to follow up on the meaning of the editorial, at which point he suggested lynching socialist communists. Sutton also disagreed with the paper that the Ku Klux Klan is a recognized racist hate group. Again, we're not going to go our way into it because this is just one of our quick hits. You can find it on Vice News. Vice has published the whole article that he stated. Now, since that point, he has been removed and has been replaced by a black woman. Again,
that's the killer, isn't it?
Yeah. So basically, all he said was, if you read his little old, his editorial, you know, he just believed the Klan can clean up everything that's going on with DC. What do y'all think about it?
Well, first of all, you should know that his family owned that newspaper. It's nepotism at its best. Mm-hmm. Therefore, he knew he could say what he wanted to say.
He thought he could say what he wanted. He felt.
It's all a cloak because my thing is, what family gonna put another family out if I own the newspaper? I think it's just a cover up. Number two is a town of 2,000 residents and 41% are black. Like, your ego is so big that you will say that in that town. Again, it's nepotism at its best. Yeah, they're going to put that black woman in there, but he'll be back because his family owns the paper. His family has owned the paper for years and years and years. My thing is, you know, first of all, what gave you the right, the balls to say it? Oh, my family owned this paper, so I could basically do what I want to. Number two, look where you live in a town of 2,000 residents and 41% are black. You're not even afraid to come out and say the Ku Klux Klan should ride again. He said in D.C., not in Alabama. But, yeah, I mean, listen, they wear white sheets in the daytime now. That's all I got to say.
That's real. What's up, dog?
You said they wear white sheets in the daytime.
In the daytime. Like, they just, they're coming out in the day. That's all this is.
When I first read it, I kind of laughed to myself. And then I thought, I mean, he's just, this is his thinking. This is what has been embedded into him since birth. I mean, we can't fault people for how they think, can we? I mean, this is how he felt for years now. He just put it in writing.
That's right.
He got so fed up
and his family
over some stuff that happened, and he put it out there. Now, was this a blunder? No, I don't think so. And just like you said, the family owns the newspaper
since 1970.
So he probably got a pat on a little pat on the hand. He got removed to show good faith. They put this black woman in here.
Yes.
So I mean, it was like a aha, but let's do something to try to right this wrong.
Okay, but
in the background,
but black
he's
women
still doing
aren't
something.
Black women aren't feared. They're not. We are like zero. We're like a penny in comparison to a quarter. They don't fear us. They're not intimidated. Now, if they put a black man, okay, I can see something.
Now they had to do something,
right?
Now let's not
look at what they
let's
put
not
in
step
position.
over it. They had to do something.
But they put a penny. They didn't put a quarter. They put a penny.
It's like showing.
I ain't no penny.
It's like showing good faith. How they say you need to put down just $100.
It looks good
to let me know that you want this. That's all they. That's all they did.
They put a penny. That's why they elevate us, because they not afraid of us. We don't do nothing.
That's it.
So it looks good. It looks good. But to me, it's all smoke and mirrors when your family owns the newspaper. Like, what you gonna do? Fire your cousin?
Some people will.
Yeah, but they can fire him, but it's his family's newspaper.
I know some folks that have cut loose a couple of people in their family.
You can fire your family, but they're still your family. That's what I'm saying. He's not the only one in this family that feels this way.
He said it.
He said it. But I'm like, what are you going to do? Denounce me as your cousin? Man, he's still getting a residual check from this newspaper because he's related to the people that own it.
They just had to move him. That's all that was.
That's it.
Now,
Probably moved him to editor-in-chief.
This is what he said. It says, according to the advisor, he said, Klansmen didn't kill but a few people. He added, the Klan wasn't violent until they need to be. He also compared the KKK, the oldest hate group in the United States, to the NAACP.
Jesus be your face.
A civil rights organization. Man, maybe this dude has just become senile. How old is he?
He's wearing his sheet in the daytime. That's it.
No, he's partaking in the privileges at B45, going ham on Twitter on a regular, and they the whole Maja, whatever it is, like that's what's up. That's what's hot in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make something or say something that's racially charged, and I'm gonna act like it's a oopsie, or I'm gonna just say it and say it plain. I mean, that's just what that is.
Yeah.
Like,
Because
as far
somebody
as
had
khaki
to
people,
see it before it went to print.
as far as khaki people are concerned,
They had to have a proofreader.
The editor.
Right. Who is probably his uncle.
What you mean? Yeah, of course somebody had to see it.
It's his uncle.
as far as khaki people are concerned, they're
It's his
basically
uncle.
the equivalent of, like, some mischievous bad kids, like, nanny boo boo, my mama beg, so I can act an ass. That's what they are right now.
All right, and then number 3, real quick, before we go and keep this thing moving. Suicide isn't fashion. Burberry apologizes for hoodie with noose around the neck. Man, I don't even have to read this goddamn story. You can just look at the picture.
Prada, Gucci,
All these folks just want to show their naked ass. It is a brown or whatever the color. You know how they create them nice different names for this color, but the shit is look brownish. That literally has a drawstring noose, tied, wrapped around, right? So I guess you just tighten it up around the neck and just keep the whole noose part at the bottom. And they come out, and I'm a little pissed because, damn, if I don't buy nothing else from them, I buy their cologne. Now, I haven't purchased it in a long time, but I wear it. I purchased some from them.
Burn it.
Well, I done used it up now. When I seen it, I was like, damn, Burberry, come on now. But, again, as we keep saying, these
Sheets
fashion
in
companies,
the daytime.
these fashion companies are going to try to push the envelope just to get a reaction. Publicity, good or bad.
Negative press is still good press.
What's up, Rob? What you think?
They ain't trying to. They done kicked the doors of the post office open.
Yeah.
That's when I first heard, I was like, okay, how many other designers have used this type of drawstring?
Right.
Because that's pretty much what it is.
Yes.
It's a drawstring that was wrapped around. And then my second thought was, are we making too much out of this? And then third thought was, okay, so Gucci done came out.
Prada done came out.
With this. Prada has came out. Now is there something going on behind the scenes, like you said? even bad press
Yeah.
is good press. It
Yeah.
still keep you out in the limelight.
Because some of us are still going to buy the cologne, the scarves, the gloves,
Right.
the luggage.
Even that particular shirt, a
Yeah.
sweater, or hoodie
Yeah.
that it was. It was just amazing that one of the models that was on set that day actually said something about
Yes.
it. Liz Kennedy. She was
Yes.
like, now, wait a minute.
What are y'all doing?
Is this what I think it is?
Yeah.
And she was a white model, you know, high fashion. She's booked, a lot of jobs. Her name is well known in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And for her, she said she brought it to their attention the day of the shoot, of the runway show, when she saw it. And some of them just kind of laughed about it. They were making jokes about it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I came back and I was like, this is just something. They're just trying to put stuff out there to cause a row, to get their name back in the limelight.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no way in a month, 3 known designers, houses, have come out with something deplorable as the blackface, the noose, and then the other shirt that they made. I mean, is it something trending? Is something going on? Are they having secret meetings and say, hey, we need to do something quick to
Right.
get our name out there, to spark something?
Some kind of interest.
Right, because, I don't think anybody knowingly would want this type of attention. But that's just me. I'm not going to put on a shirt that says I'm a whore and then pull it off real quick when somebody sees me. So I don't know. It was just I don't know what they're doing. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't know.
Well, hopefully this will save us a lot of money. Some of us, we won't buy these designers, but you know, again, like we said before with Steve Harvey, we have those who have come out, and those are the ones who look like us. They have false wealth. Who say, I'm still going to wear Gucci, I'm still going to wear Prada, I'm still going to wear Burberry, I'm still going to give these designers my money, no matter how many times they slap me in my face and let me know that I am not valuable to them or valued by them. I'm still going to do it because it's my money and I can do whatever I want to.
Bree?
Man, them niggas ain't heard for sales. They did it because they wanted to do it. Because I ain't heard nothing about no lagging to that extent to where you do something this goofy and you know what you were doing. Like that, come on now, it's very blatant. So
Well, right now it was caught on the runway, and I think that's where the difference is between the other companies, because they were producing it and selling it.
Mm-hmm.
It was seen on the runway.
Right.
I believe these companies are wanting to push the envelope of fashion.
Yeah.
And trying to see, can we get away with it?
Right.
Because again, a lot of these shows are not here. You
Right.
know, they're overseas, and then somebody saying, hey, no, that's a noose at the end of the day. Like,
And I think she
we
was
wanna-
a white. And I think she
Right.
was a white model who was like,
She was.
said she told them, "Hey, wait a moment,"
Right.
and they dismissed it and said, "Oh, it's fashion." And you know, there's such a thing as avant-garde in fashion, the
Right.
fashion that
Or
pushes
edgy or
pushes the
right.
envelopes. It makes you say, "What in the world?" But for some people, they might say, "That's amazing."
Yeah.
And somewhere, you know, but like, you know,
That's
like he's saying, when it's, you have to think that the historical context of the experience of those living in another country is not what we experience here in the U.S. Slavery, it's what they've heard of in France and Italy, where, you know, they're having fashion week and runway shows. But when it comes, you know, when they're bringing that here to Fashion Week here in the U.S., it means something different. See, that is a tie, maybe in a European country.
Right.
It's a noose here in the U.S.
shit, it
Well,
should be a
noose
noose
is a
every.
noose.
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, what the hell do a noose look like? I mean,
a Boy Scout knot is a Boy
there you
Scout
go.
knot.
That was a nice
that's
Boy
a
Scout
noose.
knot.
Now, a noose is a noose anywhere.
So a noose is a noose
and
is a noose.
slavery, as
Wherever
far
it
as
go.
America is concerned, it was not an isolated thing. They had many stops along the routes.
Right.
So they are aware of a lot of stuff. They know what they did. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And anybody melanated and brown that chooses to partake in it and keep on wearing it, then that lets me know like where you are mentally.
Well, to a defense, and we go keep it moving to go to our next segment. You know, a lot of people are just not aware of slavery as we know it.
Right, as we know it.
Because people can distance themselves from it if they're not coming from that history.
Yes.
And so that's why you can see over there, even in the UK where it's racist, you know, a lot of them are like, well, whatever, because see over there they probably don't, it's probably not even discussed ideas over there. They probably don't.
Look how they treating Meghan Markle. They dogging her out.
Right. And so
she had her baby shower here in the U.S. They're dogging her out. Listen, that girl is sitting there hoping and praying that her child has no kind of Negroid features at all. I know she is.
Well,
and guess what's going to happen? That child going to come out brown with nappy hair. And I don't know what that royal. I'm telling you,
beautiful royal fro.
This is nappy too. Nappy is a good word for me. It's nappy, it's coily, it's authentic, untouched. But I'm telling you, that girl, she's being dogged out. And I was saying, why she had her baby shower? Like, they allowed that? She had her baby shower here in New York.
Well, they said because they really, that's not their tradition.
Okay.
Over there.
Well,
because, you know, a lot of, you know, gossip sites have come up with this. And
I was just wondering who was going to attend.
Yeah, it's just not her.
That's what I said.
It's just not their tradition over there. Because you remember, Kate didn't have a baby shower.
Oh.
Diana didn't have a baby shower. Because
Okay.
that's just not part of their tradition. So that's why they flew her here
Right.
to have the baby shower. Now, that's just word on the street. I don't know who word on the street, but it's just a word on the street.
I know
that's
she's
just not part of their
sitting there
tradition.
hoping and praying that the
Over there.
Caucasian side of her reigns genetically, but
Nah.
suffer it to be so.
Nah. I mean, it probably have loose locks, but I don't think it's going to get a coil.
You got a
Because she doesn't have a coil.
but then you got a red-headed father.
It's just going to have red head, loose knots. I mean, that's...
Right.
Yeah. I'm just like...
Red, loose knots.
You know, that's a recessive trait with a dominant trait. What you think gonna happen? Listen, that baby gonna come out brown skin.
It's gonna come
well,
out.
I mean, that's
and that's gonna set it off. Cause I'm telling you, they're dog. To me, she's like passable. You know, she's passable.
Right.
She's that brown paper test passable. And they're dogging her out again because, you know, their view of slavery and who we are is different because of the experience. And so I'm like, if they're gonna dog royalty out, you know, these are people they hold in high regard. They're dogging her out like she's nothing. Man, I know she's like, Lord, please, Jesus,
or she's probably saying, please let this baby come out dark as me, so I can
darker than me,
so I can show it off, so we can be on the pages.
Well, you know, we'll see when the baby gets here.
They don't really care about this.
With that being said, man, we're gonna keep this train moving. We're gonna get into our next segment, that thing, love and relationships, the unfiltered truth. And Roz wanted to talk about it last week, and as promised, we gonna talk about this. What we talking about, good doctor?
We're talking about B. Smith. If you've been following the story, her husband came out openly in an interview on Ebony.com about his wife. He's the husband of B. Smith, if you know who she is. She is the original Martha Stewart.
Right.
Before Martha Stewart was Martha Stewart, it was B. Smith. She's a lifestyle connoisseur. She had restaurants, a chain of restaurants in New York City. She was a fashion model. And then in 2016, she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. I don't think it was early onset. It was full Alzheimer's. I remember when she was on TV, she was given an interview, I think on Today or Good Morning America, and she stopped talking because she forgot the recipe. I think she was cooking something. So anyway, she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and her husband recently, maybe about a month ago, came out. The story came out that he and his girlfriend, he was in a relationship with a girlfriend, and they were both taking care of her. Now, the first report I read, it said that the girlfriend would come and stay with them on the weekends, and then I heard people say, oh, she's living there. What I understood was this lady would come to where he was, because he was in Connecticut, I think.
Right.
She would come on the weekends and stay with him and B. Smith, and she was integrated into the household. He has a daughter. He and B. Smith never had any children, but she raised his daughter. The daughter knew about it. She was happy about it. She was fine, with it. And so the uproar was, oh my goodness, how could you, you're dishonoring your vows. Some people say, well, is it because it's a white woman who's younger? There was a lot of talk about it. Now, the new report is that Bravo TV, we're talking about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, New Jersey, Atlanta, Married to Medicine,
right,
$1 million listings. They have green-lighted a legendary reality show about her and him and the mission.
Her, him, and her.
Right. Which, that's pretty
God, that's
catchy.
a song. He, she, and me. What's that song? Me,
I don't know, but I know
Right.
the title.
Right,
I
that
know
was-
the title.
So
It's 70s song.
right.
Yeah.
Me and he.
Yeah, that's
There
it.
we go.
That should
Hey,
be
man,
the title of the
please
show.
forgive our voices, but
That should be-
yes, y'all know what we're talking about.
That should be the title of the show.
That's
So
what it
anyway,
is.
Bravo has green lighted this reality show, which number one, Bravo is pretty credible when it comes to a reality show. They run a gamut of reality shows. So my
Right.
thing is, if you get Bravo to green light your show, you're like hitting the list. So, my personal thoughts on this, I don't see nothing wrong with it. I told Boss Hogg, listen, if I die, get you a nice woman who's from the church to take care of you. That's what I told him. I was like, listen, I don't want you to be alone. You don't have to be a martyr. If I get Alzheimer's, it's the same thing. Like, get you a nice woman who's in the church. She's like the church secretary, who's gonna cook and take care of you. I did. I told him, I was like, yeah, get you a nice church woman. Make sure she's nice. And then I want you to tell her, my wife would have liked you.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I want you to tell her. So on one hand, remember that. Find him a nice church woman.
Got it covered.
So on one hand, I
Don't go
see.
Christian Mingles.
Yes, make sure she's like the church secretary.
Yeah.
And she wear those like, half
Kitten
inch
heels.
kitten heels.
Kitten heels.
And white
Oh,
stockings.
that's what them are.
Yeah, kitten heels.
She got to wear stockings. If she don't wear stockings, she can't be with her.
Right.
So on one hand, I understand the backlash. I guess, they feel like, oh, he's cheating on her. And so I'm like, that may be so if you look at it in one context. But on the other context, we don't know the conversation they had in 2016 when this all came out. If you dealt with anyone, and I took this story personally because I've been the caretaker of someone who was the shell of a person. And that is something, it's called ambiguous loss, when you have to grieve who they were because that person is no longer there.
Right.
But their body is still there.
Right.
And it is heartbreaking for some people, and it took me a long time to say, my granduncle, who was the strongest person ever, be reduced to frailty. And the social worker had to say, you have to let that go.
Right.
Because that person is no longer here, and you have to accept who right in front of you. There were moments where he was who he was, but this is who he is now.
Right.
And so my thing is, we don't know the conversation. She as a wife said, listen to me, move on, find you somebody.
I'm not gonna get any better.
We know what this road is going to
Right.
be. Number two, we don't know what preparations they made, because maybe she thought she was going to die 6 months. Because with Alzheimer's,
we don't know because he didn't speak on it. He just
Right.
said that.
He
hey,
just
I'm
said,
living my life. This is my
I'm
girl,
living
y'all
my
show.
life. But my thing is, we don't know unless you've been in that position. Be careful how you, again, I keep telling you, be careful how you throw stones, because you may never know. We don't know the conversation.
Right.
Because it took something for him to say, I'm going to come out and show this woman and not have approval from his wife. I feel like he had approval. That's the reason he was comfortable enough to come out, because
Right.
he was like, me and my wife already discussed this. B doesn't even know who this woman is, but apparently they found a way to integrate. I think it could be beef that this woman is white and younger. But then my thing is, she looked like she was doing her own thing, and she got brought into all this. So my thing is, I don't have a problem with it. Not a reality show. I'm like, that could be stressful on someone who is dealing with Alzheimer's, but again, we don't know what has been negotiated between a husband and a wife.
Let's go, Roz.
Well, that was my points exactly, is that we don't know the conversation that they had. I mean, B. Smith, like you said, was a household name. She was a household fixture for the black community. And to go from up there to down here, and seeing that her husband had been with her for 27 years, she probably did. I mean, I would probably say, this is as good as I'm going to get it at this particular moment. When the disease really started taking effect on me and my mind. I'm not going to get any better. I don't want you to lose your quality of life because you're here with me 24/7, worrying, caring. We have enough money, we can bring in a caretaker. I think you should go on and do what it is that you need to do. And she probably didn't divorce him because she wanted everything to be transitioned over to him upon her death. To me, it takes a strong woman to do that, to acknowledge the fact and to set forth the plan with her husband. And hopefully, if I ever get married, I'm that strong if some type of disease like that come and take over my body. I know to some people reading it, they was like, oh my God, she's stupid. He's talked her into this.
We got to go in and save her.
Right. They know she's not in her right mind. And I don't really care who it is that he's dating. That person really doesn't matter to me. It's those two people that came to an agreement of this is what they're going to do. How she was introduced to be, we don't know. This little snippet of the story just tells us that she goes to be with him and they take care of her on the weekends. They have pictures with her. They have family trips with her. So they're trying to make an easy transition to me.
Okay.
That's how I see it.
So, yeah, you guys have missed a lot because me and Bree covered this show. And we covered this story. And so I'm going to go say what I'm going to say here. Because all we done right now is being hypothetical. What do we know to be true? He came out. We know how they got together. They met each other. This was not like somebody out the blue. They actually met each other. He knew her. My problem is however it's shaped. And let's get on the show. Well, let me get to this and then we go and then I want to hear what Bree has to say about it. Adultery is adultery. I don't care nothing about how illness and everything. Adultery is adultery, and as me and Bree discussed then, there's ways of doing it. As somebody as well who watched a husband and wife of many years.
27.
Longer than this. I went to a church and I attended my former church, my past church, Bullock Chapel, seeing me. I watched a couple live this. A man took care of his wife who ended up having Alzheimer's. He didn't leave her. He stayed with her until the day she died. And was older than them. I mean, they've been in a longer relationship than that. We don't know the discussion, and so I can't go by what could have been said and what they have done because he didn't come out and say that, and there lies the problem. He didn't come out and say that. So all the speculation what they could have and then is strong, we don't know. But what we do know is we know how he went about it. We know how he's come out and said it. The white woman has come out and said it. He talked about how it done. So to me, at the end of the day, it was underhanded and it was sneaky. Yeah, I'm going to stay with you because I know, because it can also be on the flip side. Why would I leave her when I know I can get these things when she's dead and she does not know? See, we got to look at it from both sides of it. We can talk the whole strength thing, but nobody knows that conversation. But what we do know is we know what he's come out with. And as somebody who watched a man take care of his wife who had it, he didn't leave his wife to go find something else because she wasn't at the state she was at. You know what I'm saying?
You don't know that.
No.
You don't know that.
We don't. Again.
You only watch from the outside.
Right, and that's fine. But again,
you only saw them come to church on Sundays. You weren't there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
and that's
Thursday,
true. Hold up. And again,
unless you have been in that situation, we're talking about day in, day out.
Right.
Medical visits, hospital visits. One day they call your name and the next day they looking at you like, who are you? B. Smith can't even recognize her own face in her own picture.
Doctor. Hold on.
So my thing is the same way you are looking at this couple, this nice couple from the outside, we're looking at B. Smith and her husband and this mistress from the outside.
Right. So again,
nobody really knows.
Right.
Because listen, a lot of people didn't even know who B. Smith was until this
Right.
came out.
Right, and again, as I was saying, because again, y'all made y'all point. But again, I don't have to know the ins and outs. And as I said with this, we see what he's presented.
Right.
That's with any relationship.
Yes,
That's with any
yes.
relationship. So again, to say, well, but you didn't. Nobody see what go on behind closed doors with
Right,
any.
right.
But what I saw a man do is the only thing that I'm talking about. I saw a man who literally took care of his wife who has Alzheimer's, and he was older to the day she died. And adultery is adultery regardless of if it's illness, because at the end of the day, if he cared about it, he would have said, you know what? And like we talked about it on the show, well, let me put my wife in a facility or somewhere and I can financially still take care of her and then move on with my life.
Mm-hmm.
Adultery is adultery. I don't care how you stand before God and you try to shape it up. She was ill,
So
but you still committed adultery.
Would it have been adultery if he had put B. Smith in a facility?
No, listen. If he divorced her and said, you know what, but I've been married to this woman 20-some years.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to take care of her until she's gone because I don't know if anybody else going to do it.
Right,
Then I can
right.
move on with my life. This is the things that we know. Again, just like how you said you seen it, I watched the man. I don't care about, nobody knows the in and outs of nobody's relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But what you can do is say, well, this is what I know that this man has been doing his whole time. So I'm just presenting the other side of it because we don't know.
No.
All we know is how he presented it, and that's where the problem come in at. Now with the show, yeah. And I'm going to turn it over to Bree. With the show, real quick. It's entertainment.
Yeah.
They don't care nothing about what really go on. It's a check coming in. At the end of the day, it exploits a situation to me of mess. Because at the end of the day, you have an old man who's taking care of an older woman who has a serious illness, and there's a white woman involved. Hey, you want to check? Cool. Now, it could be used to bring in the financially take care of everything else, but like I said again, how he presented is what we know. We talked about this. If you go and look at the articles, they knew each other. They got in contact with each other. She got ill. He connected with her. And at the end of the day, B. Scott don't know that woman from Adam. And so he can get away with it. I'm sure if this young lady was in her right mind, he wouldn't be cheating on her.
No.
It wouldn't be, okay, so that's what I'm saying. So I know she doesn't understand this. So I can bring this woman in, introduce her as a friend,
She doesn't
and get
even
away
know
with
her
it.
as a friend.
Right. Out of there. You know, one
Yeah.
minute she knows her, but she knows her as this woman.
As Alex.
Right, that pop in. But she doesn't know
the relationship.
this is his sexual. And at the end of the day, and I'm going to turn over to Roz, adultery is adultery, illness or not. However you sugarcoat it, he's looking at what he can get at the end. And that's one, to me, that's one coward ass man. If you go take her, do it right. If you go move on with your life, do it the right way. Because if you have any type of faith for anything, you're really just no more than a walking contradiction of the very thing that you believe in. Let's go, Bree.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with you. It's hella tacky, and the way that I feel my biggest issue is why are you really staying married to her? Because as we can see, you're no longer honoring your vows, and I feel like it's a financial gain. And even I said this on the show the last time we talked about it, and him deciding to partake in this show with this woman just further reiterates that for me. And it's like, it's sad to see such a beautiful, graceful woman that pour so much love into this man, into their daughter, because she did say, even though that's not her biological child, she taught her, she shared with her the love of cooking. She taught her, she showed her how to properly love a man, because he did try to say that I am the quintessential, I am the quintessential person on black love or whatever. And it's like, no sir, no you're not, and I just feel like the reason why he's still married to her, because he is husband on paper. So that, I don't like the fact that they are partaking in what they are partaking in at the expense of this degenerative disease of her mind and just of her life period. Because she's essentially just like you said, the good doctor, she's not, she doesn't even have lucid thoughts, train of thoughts. So she's essentially going to be a prop on this show. Because she refers to the lady as, oh, when she does have some type of something, oh, that's Alex, my friend. Mm-hmm. She calls this woman her friend. And just like, I mean, we don't know of like 100%, but I feel as though if this lady was in her right mind, this would not be partaking like that. And it's really sad to see. It's really sad to see.
Right, like I said, I mean, we discussed this on the show. If he wanted people to understand it better, he should have related better. But like I said, we discussed this on the show. The way that they did it was tacky. And with the show, it's real simple. This is no more than entertainment to them. It's definitely going to bring ratings because regardless if you like it or not,
right? It's bad press.
Right, right. Regardless if you like it or not, you're going to tune in.
You're going to watch it because you're
right. You're going to tune in.
You're nosy.
Right, you're going to tune in and say, "Hey,"
and you want to see what state she's in.
Yeah.
The condition we're tuning in to be nosy. Let's just go ahead.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
we
it's just
like
to
watch train wrecks happen.
Yeah. Right. And like I said, and I feel sorry for the sister because again, you know, when you get to that state, I can just imagine how it is that you don't know anything or have to be taught. I mean, I literally watched this old man. I mean, I watched them. I did know them.
It's a state of ignorant bliss.
Right.
However, you revert back to a child.
Right.
You become childlike again. And
that's basically what it was. She walked.
Yes.
She came to church, and like I said, and I interacted with them. I watched them, and like I said, here's a man who didn't do that. He saw it to the end with his wife to the day he passed. She passed. He went on maybe about 4 or 5. I think like 6 years later he passed because they were older. Mm-hmm. Like so they were in a longer relationship than this 26. We talking about over 50 years, and here this man could have left his wife and brought some other older woman to church or whatever the case may be. Right. And that's where my problem is. Don't tell me you care about your wife and at the end of the day, you excuse my language, you're fucking committing adultery. If you wanted to take care of her, why not let her go? No, you see what's at the end of the day and he ain't got to say nothing. I know what I'm getting because if once I let her go, I don't get that insurance policy.
They don't have any children. They have been married.
I know what I have to gain.
But
I'm sure
her insurance policy is already signed over to him because she didn't have any kids.
No.
So he still got that part.
She has no biological connection.
He still has the insurance
policy. He stands to gain more if he's still legally married to her versus if a divorce took place.
But that's the same thing I'm saying. We can't. Of course, we're going to judge people because we have our own opinion and we're human. That's just what happens. But we can't sit up here and say that he did it wrong, he did this. He really doesn't owe us anything.
No, that's true. But the minute you went public, you did open yourself up for criticism, and so that's why we talking about it.
Discussed it, and this is what I'm doing.
Yes,
that's it.
He
doesn't have to say another word.
My thing is discussed it because he never came out and said that, hey, at some given point in time, me and my wife decide.
No, he did.
When she did,
and Ebony, he said we discussed when Alzheimer's hit because that's. To me, that is what spouses do. Now that we have this, if you know about Alzheimer's, listen, honey, it's going to come to a point where I'm not even going to know you. Put me in a home. Don't put me in a home. What are these final arrangements?
He said that he was going to care for her until her death.
Yes.
That was his statement. Her statement was when she came out, when she was lucid.
Yes.
In their book.
Yes.
She stated that I told him to go on with his life because we know what's going to happen. Now we didn't get the particulars of if she said, I want you to have a girl, I don't want you to have a girl, I do want to date, I don't want you. We don't know what happened in those
She
months.
just said, go on with your life.
Right.
She closed her businesses. She could have kept them open and had somebody else ran them.
Right.
But they made the decision.
He could have put together a board of directors to keep the money coming in.
Her businesses were in good standing.
But then that would lead to ask, well, why close the businesses? If we
she made the decision that if I can't run it,
but that's what I'm saying. And somebody can look at that and say, well, my husband might not have been able to do it. Because if you trying to still leave that legacy and business pass on and all that,
I would
okay,
close them too. But they don't have
a
anybody.
legacy.
They don't have. It's
Of her
nobody
own.
else.
It's just her and him and
It's
her
her, him,
stepdaughter.
and the
But what I'm
daughter.
saying-
What
right,
if
but
the
what I'm
stepdaughter is not interested in
But
it?
no, but what I'm
she
saying
has
is
her own thing.
right. But
Right.
that's what I'm saying. By legacy is just because I might not pass it to my wife or to my son or whatever, I might still want my business to keep going.
Who gonna get it?
But it don't matter who. You can
Yeah,
find
but
somebody
that's
to
what
run your
legacy
business.
is. I
Listen
gotta
to me.
pass it on
Right,
to
but
somebody.
right in the legacy, I also can be in. I still want that name. I still want this
Who's going
restaurant.
to get it?
You can find somebody to manage
Who's
your
not
business.
family? No.
I
I
mean, but
agree with her. No, I agree. Listen, it ain't no family to pass this on. This is a wrap. Sell it. She sold them. She sold them. She kept the name. She didn't sell the name. She sold the restaurants. She kept the name. So the name, the brand is dinnerware set. There's no more. Because, listen, that's not what legacy isn't. I pass my stuff on to strangers. It is like the Ku Klux Klan guy. You send that to family and family keeps it going.
Right, and like I said,
Don't bring strangers to the house.
right, but
We
even
good.
then, I mean, and that's great, but
We
legacy is
good.
more than passing it down to just family members or whatever. If you want to keep that chain going, I mean, you can always hire somebody to run your chain. I mean, people who have business
But there's
do
a
it all the
family
time.
loyalty that you can't fake.
Right, but what I'm saying,
But what if she says she don't believe that anybody can run
Can
it?
run it
And
the way
that's-
she
Like she,
wanted.
like she
Right.
wanted ran.
And I
so
think
Right.
that's what it was.
right. So because I can't even oversee it, I'm
No.
not going to even know what this
And I
is.
think that's what she said.
In a matter of years, I'm just going to
Let
close
that go.
it while I know it's good.
Right. And
It's
see,
just
she
like-
left on a good note.
Right. It's just like with Jordan when he retired.
Yeah.
Let Jordan don't come back.
Mm.
You went out with the bang. There's no need for you to pick up another basketball. She wasn't greedy. She's
No.
not selfish.
No.
Let's cut it here. Let's
Let it go.
liquidate all my assets.
That's
Let's
what-
put
yeah.
this money toward my care.
Put it in
I
a
don't know
trust.
how long I'm gonna be here.
That's right.
I don't know how long I'm gonna be
That's
able to
right.
function. So let me go ahead and back
Yeah.
out gracefully.
Yes.
Let's liquidate everything, put money up, and then move about the
And
country.
I think, yeah, they
I-
made
and again,
financial
I mean,
decisions.
but again, and that's great. We're just bringing our sides to it because again,
Yeah.
that could have been there too. We don't know.
We
don't.
don't.
We don't know. But what do we do know? Again, like I said with this whole thing,
He has a girlfriend.
at the end, right? It don't matter how he presented, and no, he
Yeah.
don't owe us nothing. But the minute is no different than Facebook. If you put it on Facebook or anything social media, you go public with it. You're gonna open yourself to be criticized.
Yeah.
You're gonna open yourself for the
Scrutiny and
criticism.
public opinion.
You're gonna be scrutinized. That's just how it work. So to say, well, he didn't have to say.
You
He didn't
gonna
have
be
to
on
come
the
out
Teddy
with it
show.
either,
You gonna
because
be
he
on the
chose
Teddy
to. It's no
Crew
different than
radio
Tyler.
show.
Yeah, it's no different than Tyler Perry. You bought all this stuff, but then turn around and say, "Well, I didn't want. I want to do on the low." But then you were the first one to drop the video, not
He said
Walmart.
because- He said because somebody saw him and they were gonna put the
It don't
story out,
matter.
So he
Yeah.
wanted to
So he put it
But
out.
I would
get
rather.
in
But think
front of it.
get in front of
I
helping
don't know.
folks. I mean,
I don't
like
know.
I said, my thing is again, my view on it is not going to change. With the social media, with the entertainment side of it, it's entertainment. It's going to collect a check. It's going to collect a check for that family.
Right.
On the moral side of the game, it ain't nothing more about it. I equate it to the equivalent of a drug dealer who decides to give out Thanksgiving turkeys and Christmas gifts on holidays. At the end of the day, you still just destroying the community. You still selling drugs to people at the end of the day. So he don't get my moral applause for that. If you're gonna do it, like I said, you can cut it off. And especially when we're talking about a whole nother relationship, and mind you, it ain't like they not having sex. We're talking about a whole nother sexual relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But you love your wife.
We don't
You
know
know-
if they have it.
Man, okay. If that's the
We
case,
don't know
if right, okay. I can deal with my like wife and talk to her, and she might not know me if I'm just want companionship. I'm just saying. So he don't get my moral applause and because he's doing that. And like I said, when we had this conversation about when it first hit, you could have still took care of this woman. You could have still because you could have still got a TV show out of it.
Yeah.
Now it might not have looked as pretty you divorcing her and still taking care of her, but you
Yeah.
would have still got a show moved on.
No, this is so much better.
Right, that's what I'm saying. This is so much better.
This is so much
So,
better.
like I said, he don't
Sensational.
get my, from me, from Boss Hog, you don't get my moral praise as somebody who watched somebody do it firsthand, who watched a man, like I said, till the day she died, take care of somebody in that
But
position.
then, like the good doctor said, we don't know what happened on Monday, though.
We don't know about none of it, but what we do know is we do know what
At
he
least we know
presented.
this man is there taking care of her, and
Yeah.
it'll be shown on TV.
Listen, again, because
Or
that,
I
that,
will be
hold
watching.
on, because what we doing is brimming over somebody that I know personally, who I watch this personally. We don't know in nobody's house what everybody do on Monday. Nobody's. And so to say, but we don't, what I do know is, again, I knew that man and his family personally. And this was a man who in the same position as this man, who watched his wife and took care of her till the day she died. That's what I know to be true. And we're talking about a guy who was in his late 70s. Hell, he's older than my grandfather. So no, we don't know in nobody's home what everybody do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But I know them personally. We don't know them, and we're making assumptions that at the end of the day, this conversation was had. We don't know. What we do know is that this is what he's decided to do. And on a moral level, it's not moral. We are moral people in here. Adultery is adultery. When you sat down and when you stood before this pastor and before Christ to say, I'm going to do thick and thin, whatever the case may be, that's what that was. Those are just straight plain facts without knowing anything about their home, because we don't know them. But I knew that family at the end of the day. And like I said, he did it. Why can't you wait until she gone on? What I'm saying is there was better ways to do it. And at the end of the day, you can do it how you want to do it. You live your life, people go do that all the time. But again, the minute you put it out there publicly, the minute that you open your home and newspapers to your life, what's going to happen? You're going to get scrutinized, right? What's going to happen? People going to say, well, hey, we get it. People going to say, well, no, you should have done a different way. You guys have y'all views. Mine is, as a man, I personally would not bring anybody in my home and I'm taking care of my wife.
Because I honestly feel
I just wouldn't.
if it was on
I mean,
the
and that's
side,
great, and that's fine. You know,
Alright.
you
It's
see.
all right with me. The church
Well-
woman could come over.
Well, now,
and
what I would do is, what I would do is I would just leave you.
would
I wouldn't do
divorce
it.
me?
Yeah, I would divorce you because I wouldn't do that. If I'm gonna move on with my life, it's no. So what's the difference, real quick? Because we got to go back to our throwback song.
I don't know.
Hold
That's
on.
the difference.
What's the
I don't know.
Let me ask the question. What's the difference between a couple and nothing's wrong with them? They separate and then they move on in their relationship, or they separate, they still married. Man, when I was in my first marriage, I couldn't wait to be divorced. I met women. I tell people all the time, I met 5 of the coolest women that were probably for me in my strangest time in life. In other words, if I was not separated, those were people that I could have been in a relationship with.
Right.
But my conscience wouldn't allow me to move forward because I'm like, damn, I'm still attached to somebody. You get them? Because in that moment, what am I really doing? Do I really have a girlfriend? Am I really dating somebody, or am I fucking committing adultery every time I touch this person? Or if I touch her?
Well, you're different than a lot of people.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, that's
but
just what it is.
but I'm asking the question. What is the difference? Because she's ill, he's still committing adultery. What's the difference between men and women when they separate?
Well, no, I mean, the argument hasn't been that what he's doing is right.
Right.
What we said was, the argument is, does he have to explain? Does he have? And he don't.
No, he don't. But no, well, you brought that up saying he doesn't, because you're right. He doesn't.
Right.
What I'm saying, and
We didn't say, okay, so adultery is on the table. Yes, this is what he's doing. Yes, he knows this is what he's doing.
Right.
Yes, B. Smith, before her mind turned backward, probably knew this is probably what he was going to do.
but again, we don't know.
Exactly. I mean, but that's like I said, this is just opinion.
Right.
4 people sitting at this table that's very opinionated and sometimes shady on the side. I mean, that's just what it is. We don't know.
Right, we don't know.
We're just giving our unofficial opinion about this
Well,
man's
no,
life.
we media too, so we are official with it. This shit is
Well, I mean,
live
but I'm
radio
not a
show.
therapist. So
well, you ain't got to be no therapist, but don't
is,
shortchange yourself. Shit,
mine
we
is,
award
mine
winning
is
up in
not
Right.
like I can't sit there and like we're in
I'm
his
bringing
mind.
a penny.
He was thinking that's not me.
But nobody.
But what I see is he made a commitment to his wife to be there. At the time of her needs, he's still there. Also, he's dating somebody else. Right, wrong, or indifferent. This is just what's going on. His first priority is still to take care of his wife. He haven't moved away from that. He haven't hindered that. They may have sex when she sleep. I don't know. I have no idea. They may
Probably
be
so.
in the east wing.
She don't know where it is. She
Right,
now.
exactly.
They don't go in this room.
We have no
Right.
idea. What, but I'm interested to see it. One is because I want to know where her mindset is. Because she haven't really said anything. She haven't done anything. And she's in and out. So I'm interested in the dynamic of that household at this time.
Well,
That's what I want.
My only danger is now when you become a reality, you know, there are storylines. Hey, we want, you know, they push a narrative or do whatever. And like you said, you are correct. We're not in anybody's mind. I'm not trying to get in his mind. I'm not trying to get in either her mind. I just know, again, from a moral standpoint, if we want to talk moral and will I still take care of him? Yeah, you, like we said on the show when we first talked about it. If you want to be moral and be a man of standard, go on and put on where somebody can take her and you just pay for it. Go on and cut it off. Because she don't know. But if she seen you like she normally see you, you've now freed yourself up to be just more than whatever with this woman.
Right.
That was my whole thing on it. If you're gonna do it, go on and she don't know. And then at the end of the day, well, because we don't know how he, you know, his conscience is. Like I said, for me, I wouldn't feel right knowing my wife is having this illness and then turning around, let me get comforted by, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody else. Now, I would feel right if I'm like, you know what, I gotta take her, I've been her, I just need you to understand this. You know what I'm saying?
You're going to have to wait.
Yeah, just hold on. Or like I said, get the divorce and say, listen, but in my heart, I still gotta take her.
Right.
Because when I married her, she was her, but now she's
and that
her.
may be
and
his
if you,
conflict now.
right, and that might be, and I believe so. That
now.
might be.
Yeah.
I don't want to seem like I'm hard, but how it was presented out there.
No, be hard.
It was just like on the,
You know what I'm saying?
on the Cosby Show.
You know,
It was just like on the Cosby Show. I don't know if you remember the episode when Vanessa brought her husband in. The one she married while she was in college, and he was like, "You're a good guy. You do this, you do this." But how she served you was on a garbage lid. So your estate, you have your potatoes, everything is good for sure. But how she gave it to us was you on the lid of a garbage can.
okay.
So it's kind of like that.
Listen, we're finna take a break. Again, our hotline number, if you want to call in, man, we talked about a couple of things. It's 972-591-8272. But right now, you know how we do it. We're going to take a break. This is KB's Throwback Song of the Day. And I pulled out one. I believe this one is from the 80s. And we ain't played Keith Sweat. And so we go play Make It Last Forever by Keith Sweat. And then we go jump into some sports with the First Lady of Sports, Rise. Hey.
It will not show this video.
Really?
I mean, it
how
still
look
says
on-
that we're live, but it won't show it on my phone.
Hey, thank everybody who are checking us out on our Facebook Live. Please share our videos. Go to our Facebook page, like us on Facebook. Go to Instagram, like us on Facebook. Before we jump into sports real quick, you guys probably seen we went to the Erykah Badu concert. My goddamn feet killing me. Oh, they were killing me yesterday. Oh.
You had on your slipper bottoms.
Say, man, what I thought I did was I had these tennis shoes on. And so I said, well, you know what? I know we're going to be standing up. So I got my insoles from my work shoes. Put them in my tennis shoes because they're comfortable, you know, because I'm in and out of truck walking all day. Man, my feet were like numb and, they hurt.
Yeah, that's what we go through when we go out in heels and we have to stand.
They were killing me.
We feel like paraplegic.
But it was a great show. Cool. I seen some people. She had us waiting 4 hours. I'm like, Negro, she was the headliner. That's kind of how concerts
Yeah,
go.
that is true.
So what were you expecting? I do have one gripe. I just think they need to bring a different DJ the next time. They brought like, what was he, like a house DJ?
You mean the guy from Canada?
The guy from Canada.
Well, to me, he was good, but
He was good, but not for that crowd.
the house DJ sucked. To me.
Yeah, like he was good, but he wasn't good for that crowd. Like, I mean, you here in Dallas, Texas, you playing this house music, everybody into that house, and like I said, I like
With a
it.
good DJ, he's
But-
gonna know how to read your crowd.
Right, like
Right.
for a party,
Right.
because this was a birthday party. So
Yeah.
you turn up, play what people know and hear. And so I seen in the corner from where we were standing, the dude was like, "Hey man, stop!" And it take a long time for her and her band to get her shit together. I don't know if y'all ever went to one of her concerts
I
before.
haven't.
It take a long time because they got so many instruments and equipment. You get what I'm saying? You see like the drums, the keyboards, all that. Oh, they gotta bring out extra shit. Cause she has people that literally do their sound check and you know her shit. Like they checking, connecting. Majority of them had laptops, you know, with their shit. Cause her music, what you hear on her album, ain't how that shit go sound live.
Really?
It's
What?
better live.
Oh, it's better live. And I mean, we went to the Tony Braxton concert and I told the good doctor, I said, shit, Tony Braxton should have had her sound people. Because at the concert, at the Tony Braxton concert, the problem was
The sound.
people couldn't hear us sing. And
Do we
man,
really want to hear Tony sing?
Yeah.
no. When she
She
singing
sound-
and that shit is
She
good,
sound
she gives a great
live.
concert, but
No.
she gave a great concert.
Yeah.
She played, she did, but the problem was you couldn't hear her. Now, mind you, she has a baritone voice already. So with the sound messing up and her voice, you know, she's barely singing.
Yeah. Right.
You never heard her talking. I mean, you never heard her singing. So they had to stop the show, finally get it together, and then go. Man, Erykah Badu, when I say that helped me, that shit be
But she
live
was
and
always
for real.
on a good show in Dallas.
Say,
I mean, that's just her.
Got to
I
show
said,
out on
damn.
home turf.
again, take a long ass time. Yeah, that's on. What?
Your feet was hurting.
This white boy connecting this one come out, this one, this next. You heard them touching shit. now they doing all this stuff, but you don't hear it. But they hear it. So, but when they go live and got to hit that off the man, I was like, okay. We gonna play a song from one of her acts that came out before she did. And I wasn't he out of Houston or something?
Yeah.
A guy out of Houston. Hey, we are back, man. Listen, that was KB's throwback song of the day. The legendary Keith Swift, Make It Last Forever.
Where is
Man.
old Keith Sweat at?
So he's still performing. I watched him on the video.
Yeah, charging up Jacquez.
uh,
Jacquez, whatever
We
his name is.
need a good
Keisha Cole.
Indian song.
She had posted a video. He was live in concert, whatever. So he's still out there doing his thing. You probably find him on the Legend R&B tour or some shit like that. But speaking of concerts and everything, man, me and the good doctor was in the building for the Erykah Badu, Triple D's own artist. Last night it was a great event. But my damn feet were hurting. Ooh, my feet were
You
hurting.
sound like a girl.
Say, man.
Oh, man.
Me and the good doctor feet was hurting. Hey, it was
wore
no,
heels?
no,
No.
hell
Oh,
no.
you had some flats?
Yeah.
Oh.
Man, I caught myself trying to be smart and ahead of the game. I took out my little old work shoe sole, you know. I should have just trusted Nike ass. That's why I told the good doctor, I should have just trusted
Cap
Nike.
did, might as well.
Yeah, you know what? You're right about that. I just have one little beef. With her being my favorite artist, get a local DJ or a DJ that know how to turn up for a party. In other words, doing your intermission while your people trying to get your shit together. And don't get me wrong, they do a great job. Because when you go live, your shit is live for real.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, you had people who were just standing around while he's playing his music. That's not the crowd for that music. This is hip hop. This is the club. It was a party. So I think people wouldn't have been so, what's the word? Not bored, but bored.
Yeah.
Because the party would have still kept going. You know how we do when we at the club.
Well, I feel
club
like
music.
she made up for it though, because once she came
Yeah.
on, it was like you forgot that you were standing there for an hour.
Yeah.
And she sang continuously. She played to the crowd. To me, she was an entertainer.
Right. Like I said, once she went live,
Yeah.
and that band got to playing, like I told the
Yeah.
good doctor, that's like one of my favorite parts of watching live shows, when the band come out,
Yes.
before the artists come out,
Yeah.
and they're talking, and then at the same time, what people don't understand, they're actually listening and tuning their stuff
Yeah.
by playing.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. Like I said, once that band went live, the minute she walked on stage,
Yeah,
that
her
shit
backup
was thumping.
singers.
Backup
It
singers.
had to have been at least like maybe 15 to 20 people behind her.
Right.
2 drummers, 2
Mhm.
bass guitar,
DJ.
guitar, 2 DJs.
You name it. Like I
Yeah.
said, and you're not going to hear the shit that is on her. Man, she get to mixing so much music
Yeah.
with her song.
She did her own beats.
It's fresh all over again. And she was just talking last night. She was going on 22 years of Baduism.
Yeah.
Oh, and let me salute Erica by just doing this right here. For y'all that is watching me on Facebook. Find out what the hell it means, because I'm
we
definitely
don't-
not going to let y'all know.
We wasn't there. So
You wasn't there.
Let us know.
We're not the cool kids, right?
Yeah, I know. We're not the cool kids.
Y'all
This
be
week
cool
on the
kids,
show,
too.
We don't know what.
If you wasn't in there, and again, if y'all watching live on the Facebook, this is
And
all
I
I'm
just
going to
know
do right
that
here.
has to like. Have
Yeah, it
to
do
be
mean
epically
something.
funny.
At first, she said that doesn't mean anything, and then she's like, "Wait, let's make
Don't
it
let
mean
them know,
something."
right? Don't let them know
No,
what
you
the
do
doctor.
it. You do it.
Go on, you do it. So, for you guys that are watching us live, when she does this,
At the end of
she
every
said,
song,
at the end of every song, she says, okay, so you're going to take a right, and once you go make that right, you're going to find out that's where you got me fucked up.
Yes, I love that.
So after every song,
She
and she
did that.
made this little old pose,
Yeah.
it was this loud,
yeah.
and she was like, folks be trying to put meanings behind my
Yeah.
stuff.
Some kind of way we need to.
And she was like, she said, you know what, it didn't really mean nothing, so let us go on and put
Give
a
it a
meaning to it.
meaning,
And she
yeah.
said, you know what you gonna do is you gonna make a right round that way, and then once you make that right, you gonna find out that is where you got
Baby,
me
these
fucked up.
instances of shockers.
So again, it was
Yeah.
a great concert, man. I just want to salute Erica Badu. I want to thank the good doctor for that, because she is my favorite artist, and so that definitely made my day. With that being said, we're gonna turn it over to Roz. What we gonna talk about, Roz?
Trish. I'm just gonna give him a name,
Okay.
like Kiki and them,
Mhm.
baby.
Baby daddy.
We're gonna call him Trish, because Trish is still showing out.
Mhm.
This time on a larger scale for Trish. Now we knew that he was caught cheating, and for those of you who don't know who Trish is, it's Tristan Thompson, Khloe Kardashian, baby daddy, etc. Esquire, comma, basketball player. Him. Yeah. Him, Trish. So back in November, he was caught cheating with the girl at the hookah lounge. And then later on, footage came out with him with the girl escorting her upstairs to the hotel room.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now allegedly, because the story we haven't got actual comments from him or from Jordan, but allegedly, him and Kylie's best friend made out at a party a couple of weeks ago. And then again at his house at a party that he hosted. And this was given to her from her friend. So I'm going to read an excerpt from TMZ and then another one later on that posted. So from TMZ it says, Khloe Kardashian splits with Tristan after he allegedly cheats with Kylie's BFF. Khloe Kardashian has thrown in the towel, breaking up with Tristan Thompson after she found out her baby daddy allegedly cheated on her with Kylie Jenner's best friend, TMZ has learned. Where Tristan flew into Los Angeles to spend Valentine's Day, Thursday with Chloe and their daughter True. On Sunday night, he was at a house party where we were told he snuggled up with Kylie's best friend Jordan. Witness tells us that Tristan and Jordan were all over each other making out. We were told Chloe found out and immediately broke things off with the NBA player, and sources tells us she's had enough. Now, so that part of the story came out, and I'm thinking, come on, Tris. I mean, if you're going to do it, keep with your Instagram models. Keep with your fan favorites. Don't bring it in-house. But then also, the best friend of the sister, I mean, what, are you invincible now? I mean, I don't follow Tristan, so I don't know how high up you think he is. But come on, dude. I'm not saying cheating is good, but if you're going to do it, take it outside this household. And Jordan, how desperate are you?
I mean,
to have this affair with somebody that has taken you in, that has made you who you are outside of birth, because your parents made you, so let me say that, but it has put you in a financial situation to where you don't want or need for anything, that has purchased multiple cars for you, that has added you to the cosmetic line so you can be independent and make your own money. If this is true, how do you repay that person by sleeping with her sister's
her big sister, baby
daddy?
So let me get this straight. Tristan slept with
Jordan Woods,
which is
the best friend of Kylie Jenner, which is Chloe's youngest sister.
well, okay, so
Allegedly.
right? Because can
No,
we be
he
real,
she finally come out and make
can we be real brief on this one? So,
Yeah.
being a celebrity and making money does not change ignorance and stupidity
and true character.
in a character. Also,
He's 27.
right, he's 27. Well, see, I didn't want to bring up age because
Age
you know what?
should make
Yeah,
a
you're right. That's why I didn't bring up age.
difference.
Let me say, I don't bring up age with shit because, again,
Okay, he's a rich 27-year-old.
in money.
Gives you
Does-
access to everything.
Well, really?
Yeah.
I mean, they gave no. Him having money, goddamn it,
Magnified.
made this chick decide to say, because like I said, it
Yeah,
takes
It
two.
was
Yeah.
way.
No, and I put both of them in there.
Right, it takes two.
How could you and how could
But
you?
hold on, my thing is, see, I'm fuck it. Let me be boss hog real quick. I want to take the spotlight off him, and let's look at the chick who decided
Yeah.
to focus. See, Tristan, this chick already know him. It's no different than if the good doctor's friend trying to low key
Let's
holler
look
at
at
me.
Chloe. She's 35. She should have knew better. Okay, she wanted a baby. She wanted a nice, pretty brown skinned baby. She got one. She
Ooh,
secured the
look at
bag.
that.
Why do we fault Jordan for trying to secure the bag too?
Well, she
Her
was.
bag was already secured.
No, she was a friend of a rich person.
Are you
doesn't mean-
kidding me?
What did she do?
Hey, we have a comment that says
Kylie.
this dude is delusional. Let me go to my phone.
Okay, so Kylie
Uh-huh.
has brought her in to her makeup collection to give her own piece of it. Her money was growing.
Oh.
She was getting residual from that, not living in her house, driving luxury cars that was purchased. She was set up for life. Anything that she do for everybody else, she does triple for her. Family vacations, they taking this girl worldwide. You think I'm gonna mess that up for Tristan Cash?
Yeah, I was securing the bag.
That's not a good bag.
No, she tried to listen.
It is. Chloe secured the bag with her baby. She didn't have.
Do you
Chloe
know
has
how
her
much
own
money these women make? They
Yeah, but
don't
Chloe
need
has her
him.
own money. She could have had a baby with a regular guy. That's not what she
So
did.
how is it securing the bag with Tristan when we know he is a habitual cheater?
She kept taking him back. She took him back the
But
first
you
time.
said securing the bag. What bag?
No, I'm saying.
Because evidently a lot of people are securing that bag.
Oh, so they say.
Yeah.
The bags are getting chased and the checks are getting added.
That-
yeah.
They're not
Secure
having
Kanye.
babies.
Go after Kanye.
They're not having children. They're not copulating.
Which one?
Somebody
Which
with a good
Kanye?
baby.
And populating with like regular men. They're going after a specific type of man. And when I say secure the bag, it's securing the bag as far as notoriety for their brand.
But
influence.
who the fuck is Tristan Thomas? I mean, he just played basketball.
Yeah, I
he's
mean,
not. He's just a basketball. Hold on.
Yeah,
As
but
a sports
who's
guy, hold
Travis
on.
Scott? Travis
Hold
Scott
on.
is like a
No, hold on.
5 on the look.
No, hold on. Okay, but you're talking look, but hold up. See, we know sports. On the level of basketball, Tristan Thomas ain't shit.
He's a
In those two, he
Is he
is the
like,
equivalent of a
like really
regular
good basketball?
dude. Tristan
No,
Thomas
I'm
ain't
talking
shit. He ain't in
about
the top 10.
For the friend.
Like I
I'm
would,
talking
You wouldn't
about
know
the
who-
friend.
but I would walk past him on the street.
Right, that's
and
what I'm
be
saying.
like, oh,
You wouldn't
Yeah,
turn
but we're talking
around.
about the friend. The friend looking at him and was like, listen, first of all,
You better out dating Kylie than trying to date him. If you gonna secure
Right.
the bag.
So what
we're
we're
talking
talking
about the friend who gets
And they
crumbs
probably
for her
do.
friend. She's getting crumbs. I'm going to throw you, I'm throwing
And
you
you don't
this,
think
throw you
Tristan
that.
but what I'm saying is, hold
Yeah,
up.
but we're talking about from the perspective of Jordan. She's looking at these women who date a particular kind of man. She's just following in their footsteps. I'm like, why y'all mad? What you
She's
mad about?
dating-
She
she's
doing what
dating
y'all
the
doing.
Wait, hold
Securing
on,
the
no,
bag.
hold on, no, because see,
She's
then
securing the bag.
hold on, good doctor, because see, you throw a word out there called loyalty, and see, at the end of the day, you wasn't loyal. However it's shaped, you ain't loyal.
When I say loyalty,
No,
I'm talking about family.
it don't matter. Family, friends,
it does.
But
because then they're
sometimes
picking
your
and
friends
choosing
are
how
closer
loyalty.
than family.
Right.
Or more
Apparently
loyalty.
not in
So
this
was
case.
Jordan
Right,
supposed to be
no,
like
hold
the
on.
honorary little sister because she was.
She is.
Almost like the little chick with the Brastons who hang around that
Right.
ain't really. But hold
She
on,
is.
see, we can't. Hold
She
on.
was looking out for self.
Hold on, because we
This
throw
is
out
what
because
happened.
we talk
Why
about
y'all
loyalty. We because that's the first thing that came to my mind when I seen it.
I don't know why
Loyalty.
they mad.
But again, Tristan Thomas is a regular dude in the realm of celebrity basketball. This dude ain't going in the top 10
He
of shit.
really
You
wasn't
wouldn't-
known until Chloe.
But
took
not
it
in the
on.
eyes of Jordan. Now, for the Kardashians, yes. They can go higher than him. But we're
Okay,
talking about
so-
in the eyes
so-
of this girl.
So
Man,
let's
she
just
tried
put
to.
ourselves
She tried to.
in Jordan's position. She's young. She's hanging out with these billionaire
Mhm.
sisters. She
Let me
wants a
read
piece
your
of the
comment.
pie.
Hey, I see you.
Okay. Then she says, "Oh, to get this piece of the pie, I'm gonna get with Tristan.
yes.
Why? He has cheated with
I don't care about
everybody.
that. We're securing the bag.
You
You had a
are-
baby with Travis Scott with them little
Unpack
snakes in
that
his
for
head.
me, please.
You're securing the bag. You do what's necessary.
Unpack it because I tried to sleep with Kylie before, because her bag is much more bigger than his bag.
True.
This is true. So that's the bag I'm going. If we're gonna go bags,
She might
Hold
have
on.
gone after
Here's
it.
a
You
social
don't
media.
know.
Here's a social media comment, and this from I want to make sure I say your name right. Bros and Francis. That's the owner of Energize Co. Hey man, I was representing last night. I got it on. I just love your hoodie. So if y'all see me in this same damn hoodie because it's comfortable.
I need me a hoodie.
Energize Co. Hey, it is comfortable as shit. But he says both these people were wrong. Tristan mostly. If you didn't want a relationship, you could have still did your thing. You are absolutely correct. But you are a man and you know how we roll. We're not always thinking with our head. We thinking with that other head. Here it is as a young dude.
Kardashian women seriously.
Right. And apparently he doesn't take her serious. That's why he's
he
doing
kept
what he's
cheating
doing.
on her. He came out and was
But
like, yeah, I cheated with
I'm
her.
not finna let this chick slide.
She shouldn't
Because
she's a part of the
hold
family.
on, right? I'm not letting her ass
Sorry.
slide
No,
because
she not.
you don't see, we don't get on the chick who said, you know what? Now I'm good. Because what happens? You ain't loyal. You just looking for a way in, and I slept
That's
with your
right.
man.
Securing the bag.
She ain't collecting no check.
We
She
don't
ain't get
know.
pregnant. It ain't like they
We
doing
don't
anything.
know.
You a hoe. I'ma just say.
Bravo might give her a show.
Exactly.
Okay, y'all on his shit.
She might get her own
Nah,
show on
nah.
the E
Because
network.
nothing about
Nah, I
her
really
is
don't feel
interesting.
too many type
Everything
of ways.
that
I just
was
like to see what they do to other people.
now. This is the only thing that I don't get. So Kylie has been her friend for years. They met in high school or whatever and came up through the ranks with her. So she has been with this girl through thick and thin. She made her an
Through
executive
all her
producer
surgeries, everything.
on.
She know the real Kylie.
Well, it's not even that. Is
What
Jordan's
she looked like
dad
before.
Yeah.
died.
Yes.
Her mom was ill.
Okay.
So she has been there through everything with this girl. If nothing else, if your if your sister's boyfriend comes to me, we out. We damn near fighting at this party.
Right. That's man.
I
Go
mean,
ham
that's
on
just
it.
what it is. Now, if he slept with a random
Right.
Off of, to me, it'll be a little bit different. So I think she should take as much as the blame as he does.
Yes,
because
I
he's
agree.
close with this girl. They take her, and I'm not saying like a puppy, but they are giving her steps to create her own business.
Yeah.
To become her own because of where she came from.
Right.
You know, now she's at the house. She's back at home with her mom. They don't even get along.
Who, her and the mom?
Her and the mom. And then they said earlier yesterday, they said she applying for jobs at restaurants. So she has went from building her own cosmetic brand to now you finna be a restaurant hostess. You messed up your own livelihood. You did this. I have a friend that's close to me, and wherever I go, she goes. Whatever.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
She
I
has,
thought y'all were kinfolk.
and it's vice versa.
That's
because
real.
That's our loyalty to each other. I wouldn't know how to fathom if something happens and her other friend slept with. I'm thinking, you know, it's just like that. It's a kick in the face because you've brought this girl into your fold. You've given her, and even though yes, it's monetary, but she has been there for her emotionally also, and given her a platform to build her own, so she won't be dependent on them. And to me, this is the thanks that I get for letting you into my house.
Yeah.
I don't care, alcohol, drugs, whatever it is. When you saw them lips pursed coming to you, you should have put your fist up. That's the timeline would have been totally different on TMZ.
Right.
Jordan socks Tristan in the face after a kiss attempt is what it would have read.
Right.
Right.
For me.
Right, and like I said, I agree. And we're in no way giving Tristan Thomas a pass. I'm not giving it. All I'm saying is that's about like the women who also entertain it, because that's what happens. We don't really jump on them like we do the dude, but it takes two to tangle. And so at the end of the day, when you decide to do that, you threw your loyalty out the way, because the good doctor talk about it, and loyalty is loyalty. Either you're loyal to me or you not.
And you know that's my phrase.
Right. You're right.
That is my phrase.
You absolutely right, because you mentioned loyalty before anything else.
Anything.
And so that was the first thing that came in my mind. Like, oh, you really not loyal. You saw an opportunity that envy crept in and said, well, I want a piece of what she has. I want to see what it is. You let go of your friendship. You're right. But I'm just saying, you let go of all that to say, let me do this. And I don't feel sorry for him or her at the end of the day.
Because she's done with.
Right. I mean, but what are you at the end of the day? I can't give her credit in securing nothing. All you did was, I'm just calling a spade. Well, I ain't going to say a spade, because that's a high card in spades, and you got to play that. Nah, I'm going to say you a club. Number two, that's the lowest one.
Club ain't got no clout.
And nothing.
Ain't nobody
I'm
can
just
see you,
saying.
club.
I'm just calling it is what it is. You put yourself out there to be a bottom feeder, and that's me being nice about it.
Whoa.
A bottom, yeah,
Shrimp
whatever.
bottom?
I ain't say
I know we're
shrimp.
not supposed to eat it, but shrimp good.
I just said a bottom feeder. Like
just
when I
to-
use that word,
I
I'm
know.
saying you the low. You know what?
Right.
You a bottom
I'm
feeder.
messing with
Because
you.
that's the whole thing to me. It was the loyalty
You
of the
picking up
situation.
garbage and shit.
Tristan she'll find another one in about 6 months. I mean, let's just keep it real. They always do. She'll find another one in 6 months. But friendship, to me, that has
Right.
damaged Kylie for life. To me, because like I said, this girl has put her on everything that she's doing, and not as a helper, executive producer of her show, The Life of Kylie, branching out her own cosmetic line. She's giving her this stuff to say, okay, you've been riding with me. I've gotten this far.
I'm putting your ass on.
I'm putting you on.
That's putting on.
We riding or dying with this.
Yeah.
And everything that she does, when she shout out Travis Scott, she shout out Jordan. I mean, she shout out Jordan every time. There is no mistaking it. So yeah, I feel bad for Chloe, but we know Trish was gonna show up again, just like baby.
I mean, as the good doctor
And-
said,
and-
this go back to choices we make in relationships and who we choose to
To
do
deal
this shit with.
Right.
Because again, I'm with the good doctor. I say it all the time. You need to be careful who you messing with. You know, you gotta. It ain't. You set yourself up for issues. You know what you was dealing with him.
He cheated when she was pregnant.
He cheated on his last chick.
Right, and then he cheated on the last
Hello? Girlfriend for her.
Which is why
Right.
I said,
Yeah, I'm like, come on, man.
what bags? Because his bags have been everywhere.
Especially with them
I don't know if we
kids.
want them bags.
I mean,
Let's talk about the bags.
Let's not unpack. Leave that
don't-
over
your ass
there.
go.
I don't. Do we want Trisha, man?
Oh,
Let's talk about the bags.
Man, look, like I said, I'm in no way giving this dude a pass. He's trifling, but
Yes.
again, it takes two. She's just as trifling, and at the end of the day, she just shows she has no loyalty. You know, you have no loyalty when you do that. When people are trying to put you on, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't. If it was the other way around, say, baby, your little friend, she ain't no good. She shooting up her. She trying to shoot it at me.
Exactly.
Hey, she's shooting it at me. That you need to go on and let that go and keep that moving. And vice versa. Hey, your little dude is trying to, you know.
I'm telling you, we would have been boxing at that party.
Man, I believe
It would have been a totally different.
I want to see you go.
I'm telling you, it would have been. I'm looking up
and
and some lips coming toward me, and you finna ruin what I got going on, Trish. Not today.
Not
look like you
today.
can swing hard.
Or any other.
Not today, Trish.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're not giving
Trish
the pass. But, you know, you got to talk about the other side of that, which is the woman on the other side, because it take two, you know. And hopefully, what's her name? Because I don't follow none of their ass anyway. What's her name? Chloe?
I didn't.
Wake your ass up. You know, no, I know you do. You talk about time. I'm just saying, wake up. You know, is it really worth the heartache? We're joking about, and we're talking about celebrities, but what about in real life? Is it really worth the heartache? It ain't worth that shit.
No.
It's people out there that will love you for you and want to be with just you.
Come on, Fred Oak Cliff and get you whatever.
I
mean,
can't
you might have
co-sign
some
on
20
that.
Wait a minute, he like,
Went all the way to
wait a
Florida.
minute. He had to get out. He was like, no.
You may have some 22
I can't-
and some
I can't co-sign.
and some screens in the back, but that's fine.
Yeah. You know,
That's
but
okay.
but again, I mean, even in real life, it's just really not worth the heartache of going back and forth, you know. And I'm just saying that to women, is it really that
It's
damn
not.
serious? It's a dude out there. It
Your
might take
peace
a little
of
bit longer.
mind is 100% more valuable.
I agree, Ross.
Being able to go to sleep at night with peace is more valuable. Tossing and turning is
Say,
not
man.
a state you want to
And
be
like,
in.
for real, on some real stuff, you know, I mean, they're not my cup of tea, but hey, here we are. As a mother of a young child, she needs to be her best self so that she can parent effectively for the baby.
Yeah.
And so going through this, and so soon after the other time, because we were just talking, we just talked about I mean, dang, we ain't even that far.
Right. And,
You know.
and like I said, you know, it is what it is. Hopefully they all wake up and, you know, grow up. Time to mature up. You know, sure, you got kids. And at the end of the day, y'all in the spotlight. And trust me, Google is a beast.
Yeah.
Your ass will be finding out your children, finding out your ass was on some silly shit.
Because it don't go away. It's
right.
not deleted.
Oh, man. Now, let's get
Because they
to
ain't got Beyonce.
the infamous shade tree real quick. And we're not going to spend too much time on it because I have a great audio from this brother, Saul Williams from the Breakfast Club that we got to listen to. And I'm going to entitle that, What Are You Putting in Your Diet? And when you hear it, it is something that you can take and use with you. So, last week we were talking about Kamala Harris, and we got so caught up in her claiming her damn Kamala. Okay, Kamala. Okay, Kamala. Please forgive us, whatever.
The
It ain't
Indians
black.
pronounce it Kamala.
Okay, well the Blackens
Say
call it
Kamala.
Kamala. I'm back. But no, so you know, last we got in the conversation and we got in her claiming her blackness if she blackness. Well, if she's black and all that.
Right.
We didn't even get on the goddamn
woman of
conversation.
color.
She's a woman of color. That's what she want to be. So that's what you go be. But our man, you ain't too old to be reeled in by your damn daddy.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't too old to be reeled in. You ain't that high up in this country, even as a nominee for president of the United States or a candidate, to have your daddy reel your ass in. And so, you know, we never knew nothing about her dad until she started running, right?
Right.
Yeah. So guess what? Daddy said, I'm finna go and call you out on your shit. I'm gonna call you out on your own shit. And so it says his daughter, it says Donald Harris slams his daughter, Senator Kamala, I'm blackish, Harris for fraudulently stereotyping Jamaicans and accusing her of playing identity politics. Professor Donald Harris, Kamala Harris, Jamaican father, has vigorously disassociated himself from statements made on the New York Breakfast Club radio show earlier this week, attributing her supporting for smoking marijuana to her Jamaican heritage. Professor Harris has issued a statement to the Jamaican Globe Online in which he declares, my dear departed grandmothers whose extraordinary legacy I described in a recent essay on this website, and you really need to go read that, as well as my deceased parents must be turning in their grave right now to see their family's name, reputation, and proud Jamaican identity being connected in any way, jokingly or not, with fraudulent stereotype of a pot-smoking, joy-seeker, and the pursuit of identity politics. Speaking for myself and my immediate Jamaican family, we wish to categorically disassociate ourselves from this travesty. She was on the Breakfast Club and she said, "Have my family from Jamaica. Are you kidding me?" And this was her response to the weed smoking and all that. And so let's go and jump into it real quick. Thank you, Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Daddy.
For what?
What? Thank you. And because
he
hold
the
on.
stereotype that all people in the Caribbean smoke weed.
Hold on. And all of that. Well, that too. Good doctor.
Come on now.
But damn it, sometimes you need your daddy to go on and tell you, say that shit ain't cool.
What he told her is sit yourself down somewhere.
Right. And so my thing is when I seen that, that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do as African Americans in calling out these issues, because what happens? See, normally it is a politician calling out another politician.
Right.
Here we have a daddy who is watching his daughter say, your ass ain't too old for me to check your ass. And this is a professor publicly to say, you know what? That ain't cool. Don't joke with us like that. If you're going to,
I just
be
want to
pro
know
marijuana.
what summers did she spend on the island?
Right.
That's all I want to know.
Now, that's a whole nother. Hold on, sweetie. That was last Sunday.
How many summers did she spend in Montego Bay?
Hold
that's
on.
all I want to know.
Yeah, none. That was last Sunday conversation.
Yeah.
And so,
come on, man.
That's just my thing. I'm glad Daddy did it. Check your ass, because now you have to move in a whole different way now.
Yeah.
See, you can't ever contribute that, because Daddy's saying shut up and don't embarrass us like that.
Yeah.
Don't stereotype Jamaicans to say, well, oh yeah, because I'm Jamaican. Again, she's only started just claiming her Jamaican side.
Yeah.
You didn't even know about her daddy.
So is it the fact that she's claiming her Jamaican roots, or is it the fact that she says she's from Jamaica and she probably smoked weed?
No. It is, as he called it, identity politics. Because he's saying
that's the first thing that comes
that's
to
stereotyping, and that's why the daddy is saying
I got off the plane, it was offered. While we were at the resort, it was offered.
That ain't everybody, Roz.
It's the people that I came in contact with.
Okay, say
well,
that.
my Jamaican best friend, who been my friend for over 20 years, she don't smoke no weed. Neither do her mother. Neither do her father.
That's all he talked about and sang about it and did in the studio.
Well, what she
so you have people from Jamaica that actually does this.
True.
So that's the light that she was shining on.
But
she didn't grow up under that.
But
let me say
and
this.
that's another thing.
So,
she didn't say yes.
Is,
she didn't say no. What her response
she
was, half of my family is Jamaican. What do you think?
And I
so it's because she's claiming to be Jamaican,
Come
not
on,
the
now.
because way, that's my stereotype.
The way in which she's doing
that ain't working.
Hold on, y'all.
That ain't working. I'm sorry.
What you gonna say, Bree?
It's not that she is right now or whatever. It's the way in which she's going about it. It's opportunistic. It's like her daddy said that you're playing off.
And
of
Jamaicans are a proud people. They are proud people,
and they work hard.
You're playing off of somewhat of a stereotype because there's nothing wrong with the herb. And as we can see, it's getting legalized in a lot of places.
In my opinion, about 90% of them do. From my experience.
Okay, but the people
that.
you know. So
From my experience.
watch this, because hold on, I gotta throw another word I like using. We're gonna start becoming hypocrites, because see, you can't contribute a stereotype to one because that's not you, and then be mad when we're stereotyped.
Well, yeah, because Jamaicans think black people are just as dumb as rocks, and y'all not motivated and don't do nothing.
So you got to be careful on that, because
I can see that too.
no, but what I'm saying is, again, as Daddy said,
that's right.
don't stereotype
don't
us.
Do us
don't
like that.
Don't paint that broad brush of Jamaicans being known for smoking marijuana. Now, if it's legal over there, great. I mean, hey, whatever you do, what you do, and that's fine. The same way it is in Amsterdam and other countries, and that's fine. All Daddy is saying is, hold on, I understand and know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And see, Daddy can call it out before anybody else call it out. I see what you're doing. You playing identity politics.
You want to know us.
Right, now you talk about Jamaica. Because
how many summers did she spend? Because let me tell you something. Don't matter where they children at, they got to go home for the summer. How many summers did she spend on that hot? No.
That's a stereotype.
Listen to me. I'm from the island too, so I know. Listen, you got to go home. I don't care if she lived in Canada. If she was in good relation with her father and her father's family, you guarantee she was on a flight every summer. What I want to know is, how many summers did she spend on the island?
She didn't.
Do she even know those people that she's trying to claim? Don't be trying to claim like you Bahamian and you only went to the island one time. No, you need to go sit down over there, because we from the Caribbean, where we are surrounded by water, we are very proud of our heritage. Don't do us like that. What he trying to say is, girl, go sit down somewhere. You weren't even interested in our family.
Right.
You weren't interested in who we are. Now you trying to clout chase on us. Don't do us like that. Number two, Jamaicans are very, very proud people. And what he's saying is, you're not going to destroy my legacy, my grandmother's legacy, my parents' legacy. The same thing my mother would say, don't shame us like that. Have my mother rolling around in the grave. Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on
like
now.
I said, I
now, do
agree.
people smoke marijuana in islands? Yes, they do. Do they drive and drink? Yes, they do. But we are known for more than that. What he's trying to say is, come on now, we known for more than that. You got Usain Bolt. That's what you want to talk about? That's who you should be trying to associate yourself with. Yes, I'm from the island where Usain Bolt is from. Yes, I'm from the island where Sherry Thomas is from. These are the people you should be trying to talk
from
about.
the island with such a beautiful culture.
Yes. No, you want to talk about man. Girl, sit down somewhere.
Right, like I said.
Go sit down somewhere.
Doctor.
Yeah, again, when I seen it,
let me do it for all the Bahamians. Don't yuck up my vexation today.
Oh.
She pulled out.
She just dropped some great
but no, again, I mean, I definitely agree, because again, I'm not a big fan of us, because again, I follow this woman.
Yeah.
I follow her politics.
She ain't getting my vote.
And
Putting it out there now.
because we hold this conversation.
Yeah.
I mean,
when she
you
did
can't-
that, no. See, I was gonna try to ride with you.
Yeah, I wouldn't
but
try.
you clout chasing. Listen, you clout chasing on my people.
Now watch this. How
'Cause
many?
I'm craving for some oxtails right now.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
many-
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm so
Hold
glad I
on.
get my
How many
food
politicians can't wait to eat this alive in a debate?
What?
I really hope they do.
This shit right here with her daddy coming out, it's over,
daddy.
because your daddy. When have you ever seen a
Your
damn
father.
politician daddy,
That should tell
mama
you something.
check they ass
That should tell you
in
something.
any way, form of? Let me know who. I'm gonna wait. I've been following politics for a long ass time. Let me know who.
Right.
You just don't see it. And so I was like, oh wow. Come on through, daddy. Because
It's
again, just
basically-
like anything else, now you're trying to associate. I seen a picture with her. She finally took some pictures with some Jamaicans. I forgot where she was. Again, you weren't claiming none of this
None
stuff
of that.
until
That's right.
you started hitting the
ruin your
spotlight.
head.
You wasn't, like I said, you wasn't jumping into this black community shit
Right.
until you got in this politic thing. You wasn't black, like I said before, and I'm like with Uncle Luke in the article that we were gonna talk about last week, and everything he said. A Twitter follower said to the woman who had a criticism of her, you still didn't say where he was wrong.
Right.
You didn't say where he was not telling the truth. And so that's my thing with her. To me, she's no more than a
She clout
Obama,
She
a
clout chasing.
Obama clone. If you look at them, they are playing the same game. She introduced her presidency on Martin Luther King on Martin Luther King Day,
In
right?
Baltimore.
Now watch this. Obama sounded like who? Who did people say he sounded like when he talked? MLK.
Mm-hmm.
Where did Obama? How's his relationship and how he grew up? It is similar to hers. Different countries, but it was from a black and white family.
Yeah.
His dad was from
Africa.
But
he was
and
raised
so,
by his white
right,
grandmother.
now watch this. And it's the same. They are literally have the same playbook. Notice how they doing that. It ain't one of us that's being put in the position. Well, Cory Booker. And he's shiesty too. Like I said, my thing is, and I'm going to turn it over to you guys before we end the show. My thing is very simple. I'm glad that the daddy called his daughter
and that's what
out
Caribbean
on
daddies
his
do.
BS. I'm
Yeah,
glad
I
he did
loved
it
it. I was
because
cool.
now that Jamaican shit is over.
Yeah.
Now, who you finna run to now with your line? To the black folks? So now when she run out to the black folks, somebody should be able to call her out too and say, hey, I don't see you doing everything you say you're doing. That's my whole take on it. Again, however y'all feel, what y'all think about it. Like I said, for me, I'm just glad that he did it because at least he said, you know what? You ain't finna destroy our heritage. Talk down on Jamaicans like that. And you're right.
Right.
You know, when you see it, you see the colorful hat, the dreads, smoking. But he's just saying as a father, don't do us like
We're
that.
bigger than that.
Yeah, we're
From
bigger
her
than that.
standpoint.
Right.
Don't play down what we do.
Right.
Understand that may be part of our culture, but we're so much more than that.
And the thing is he's probably saying in the back of his head, damn it, girl, you're right, because that is a stereotype. But don't put your politics in it to push that.
Right.
And that's what he was basically saying. Hold on. That's why he called it out for what it is. Don't play identity politics. Don't do that. And again, he probably like I probably got some cousins and everything here. He probably done it, but he said no, not in this way.
Right.
Don't do it like this. If you go push a marijuana agenda, use something else to push it. How about and she could have done this now that I think about it. How about you saying why if we legalize marijuana, this would free up a lot of black men. See, she had every opportunity to run with it how she wanted to. Right. She had every opportunity to run with it how she wanted to create, her stance on it. Listen, because we know marijuana and these small drug charges, not drugs, but marijuana, is one of the main reasons why African American men being locked up, right?
Right.
So why didn't you run with that? If we legalize marijuana, this can free up black men from getting caught up on small misdemeanors, which that's why a lot of states, like the city of Dallas, has turned certain marijuana possession into a ticket. You got states now, it's a ticket. Depending on what it is, it's a ticket. And so that's my whole thing behind it. What's y'all thoughts? Anything else you got to add?
I'm good.
What about you, Bree?
Yeah, I was so here for it. He read her so eloquently, and the fact that it was her father, I was just like, yes.
So we can say it was petty?
No, it was eloquent.
Yeah, an eloquent pity piece.
You sure? I'm looking at you and
No,
you like...
I don't think. Well, I mean, I don't think it was petty. It was needed because it was just like, how dare you?
Well, I say petty because he was so professional in his read. Because the truth is, he did read.
I mean, but he's a college professor.
Right, that's
so
what I'm saying.
Educated.
His shit was so
So
educated.
he's not gonna come out there like Gwen in Oak Cliff and be like, you should
Be like Steve
Yeah,
Harvey.
yeah.
What did Steve Harvey
yes,
say?
petty can be served many
You
ways.
can't be Professor Harris, Jamaican Harris
right.
in front of these folks. And
Right.
since I'm writing this piece in this little paper, I can't really come to you how I want to. Because
Right.
I'm sure he would have loved to use some of them goddamn Jamaican words.
Just like
Yeah,
the
we
Just like the good doctor just went straight in.
I was like, you about
Yeah.
to teach me that.
But listen, man, we gonna wind this show up. And I want to bless you guys with this audio, man, from this brother Saul Williams. He's like a actor / artist or whatever, but he talks on the Breakfast Club and he make a good point about what he puts in his diet. And so I want you guys to listen to this, and I just have a question for you guys before we leave. What are you putting in your diet, Saul Williams?
And basically, I feel like your diet isn't only what you eat, it's what you watch, it's what you read, it's what you listen to. And so I'm mindful of what I ingest. And so basically there was nothing there that was feeding me. You know what I'm saying? I have a computer, that's enough, and there I can pick and choose what, you know, what feeds me. I didn't have a TV because I wasn't trying to be fed by that. It's like the same way that some people don't eat meat. You know what I'm saying? It was just a matter of me minding my diet. Like I said, you gotta be careful. You have a lot of cats, for example, we go back to MCs. My problem with a lot of MCs is they sound like
great
they're
show
listening to
today.
hip-hop. Because their
Great
instruments
show,
sound
man.
like
I'm
they
so
don't
proud of
listen to
y'all.
each other.
Hey, listen,
That's
we are
why I
live.
said change up the
We
game.
wrapping
They
up the
listen
show.
to
Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you everybody who's commenting. We love you guys, man, and definitely appreciate your support.
Travel sonically and let that influence how you come back to writing a rhyme. Change your diet is what I'm saying. Affects your artistry. I didn't have a TV because I was monitoring my diet.
You are tuned into the A-Side on THAAfterparty.com.
Hi, this is Lynn Hayes.
Are we live?
With the voice
Oh.
and I am
Hey, listen, it's been another Sunday of the Petty Crew Radio Show. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. You can listen to us tomorrow with the replay, with the rebroadcast, side A from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Again, follow us on our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Again, thank you guys for your support, and we love you. Until next Sunday, we're out. Peace.
Peace.